robbery is a mathematical equation that starts with a gun. Harvey Stone was the brain. Rick Crawford was the muscle. Add one Iceman, Tim Rennick, plus a pigeon. This time there was also an unknown quotient. X, me. I'm an undercover police officer. Assignment, Tightrope. I had infiltrated the gang. I was one of them. The pigeon, Tom Sellers, was a payroll cashier, in deep with the bookies. The gang had bought his tab, and now Sellers was paying off at the point of a gun. What had started as harmless betting was ending up in a $250,000 robbery. Except that everything was now going to be canceled out by the police. That is where the equation would take on a sudden subtraction. And it was about to start right now. Let's go.
Hey, you ain't going nowhere.
Tim Rennick had killed the cashier. This I hadn't counted on. Just as it seemed they were getting away with it, the police arrived. The hoods opened up with their guns, and the police returned the fire. It was time for me to get out of here. I'd finally caught one. Get him! Rennick's bullet hit the engine of the other police car and put it out of commission.
He's got it bad. Then we'll have to dump him. Is he breathing? I don't think so. Push him out. He's got a pulse. He's gonna die anyway. Wait a minute. Too close. They could pick up the trail. Better take him with us.
Strange-looking thermometer.
Shall I go ahead and kill him, Harvey? I never liked him anyway.
Somebody did some talking. Real loud talking. Enough for the cops to pay us a visit.
What we want to know is who sent out the invitation.
Who tipped off the cops? It all spun around in my mind like a tilted pinwheel. I could pick out a day here, a pain there, sometimes a face. I must have talked in my delirium. But if I had told them anything, they wouldn't have waited this long. I had to make the cashier the patsy and hope they would buy it.
Cashier Sellers. I remember him getting it.
What else?
When we moved in through the quarters, he flipped the switches for the overhead neons. I remember at the time there were a lot of switches. I wondered about it. One of them could have been an alarm connection.
How come you didn't holler?
We were moving fast. I thought he was in the bag. I don't know. I'm only making a guess.
All right. We'll let it go for now. They bought the story too easy. Why? If they suspected I was a police officer, I'd be dead. It was something else. And I had to find out what it was.
I seem to remember some of the nights, the moments. You were sitting there. I'm real grateful to you.
Somebody had to do it. Are you hungry?
I think so.
That's a good sign. You didn't want anything. I practically had to force you.
If it's any trouble, I'm sorry.
I'll go warm the food. There's some soup and a piece of steak. Sam said it would be all right.
Sam? Doctor?
Not likely. But he took the bullet out and changed the bandages. Don't you remember?
When was he last here?
A week ago. He was supposed to be here yesterday. Maybe he'll come tomorrow.
I'd like to thank him, too. Whatever he is, Lieutenant?
Easy, Hank. I threw a wild shot. I caught one of them.
The big guy with black hair?
Yeah.
That him?
That's the one. I don't remember anything after that.
Don't want you to, Hank. Not for now, anyway.
It all went wrong, Lieutenant. We fouled it up.
We don't win all the battles, Hank. Just the wars. You're in good hands. You're going to be all right. Take it easy. We'll get them. I guess that confirms it. Was the undercover man who got it.
No contact all this time. No body's been found that fit his description either.
First chance they get, they bury him, close the trail down.
What a way to go. Like a shadow that disappears.
I'll make a report on it.
Red Bentley should be here in about a week. He's got the whole escape worked out. Until then, we sit tight.
We're going to take that joker in there with us?
Maybe. He said he was in Detroit, so he should know Bentley. When Red gets here, we'll find out.
Give you 5-1 Bentley never laid eyes on him.
No bet. I think you're right.
We should have left him out there when the cops blasted him.
Yeah. That would have been real smart. And the cops could have sweated everything out of him.
Oh, I didn't mean leave him alive. Anyway, I'm tired of all this waiting around. We should clear out now. We wouldn't even have to cut Bentley in.
And you've got rocks for brains. The heat hasn't cooled down. They've got roadblocks on every highway in the state around the clock. We're doing it my way. We wait for Red. And Florrie goes on ahead to Juarez and waits for us. Jim.
Speaking of Florrie, you notice the care she's given that joker? I mean real special care, kind of personal-like.
What's that supposed to mean?
Don't mean anything. Just side of Florrie I didn't know she had. 24.
26.
Oh, yes.
There was nothing. Nobody could find this place unless they knew what they were looking for. So simmer down and relax until Red gets here, huh?
That's something I can hardly wait for. When Red meets that joker, that'll be the end of the joker.
Sam will be here in a couple of hours to change his bandages.
Sam, now there's an old drunk that can really run off at the mouth.
Why don't you stop worrying about Sam? He's useful. And he keeps his mouth shut. I've used him before.
I don't see why you're so concerned about getting that joker healthy again. I'm gonna kill him anyway.
Sleep. The greatest thing was ever invented for sick people. Sleep, food, sunshine, air. I won't need you now, Florrie.
Harvey wants me to stay.
No, he doesn't trust me, huh? Well, you can tell that...
Sam, don't rub him. He's in a killing mood.
You'd never do me that kind of a favor.
Don't press him. I'll wait outside.
It always wakes him. Hey, that looks good. Very nice.
Yeah, you're Sam.
You're gonna be all right, son. Good as new.
Thanks for taking care of me.
Your body did that. Best healer in the world. You just clean the dirt away, stop it from bleeding, and step back. That's all you can do in a place like this. You put a small pad on it, and a couple of pieces of tape. You can throw that away in a day or so if I don't get back.
Please, no more of that medicine, huh?
It's my medicine.
Where are we? Or aren't you allowed to tell me?
You'll have to get that from Harvey. You're over this crowd, aren't you?
My first caper with him.
Well, they're rough, and I got a feeling they don't cotton to you very much. When they first brought you in here, I got your clothes off of myself. I found this.
Wondered about that.
Yeah, a peculiar place to carry a gun in the small of your back.
It's just in case of a tie.
Where do you want it?
Put it under the mattress. I appreciate it. I take it you don't like Harvey.
I don't like Harvey. Harvey doesn't like you, so I've got to like you. It's a simple, primitive formula.
All right, then where are we?
Another city, another state where you've caught it. Where isn't important, then they can't trace it to me.
Now that I've heard everything you can't tell me, how about something you can tell me?
Yeah. So the cops are searching. An army of them, but they'll never find this place.
I'm sure of that. Thanks.
Sam wasn't much help, but at least he had done me one favor. He had kept my gun hidden from the others. That might make the difference between living and dying. Now there was only one other answer. Florrie. She seemed to be the only one who cared whether I stayed alive. Maybe she would tell me what I wanted to know, if she knew herself. The others watched and waited. They watched me and waited for something else. I didn't know what. I was never out of sight of at least one of them. The tightrope felt like a greased wire.
A widespread search continues for the 4 bandits who staged a daring $250,000 payroll robbery nearly a month ago. Police bulletins continue to ask all citizens to be on the lookout for a late-model black sedan with bullet holes in the trunk compartment. And here is a description of the 4 bandits. Remember that these men are armed and dangerous.
All right, when do we leave?
Take it easy.
Look, I'm ready to roll. I'll take my split and cut out. I'm not going to be smoked out like a possum around here. Relax, Rick.
He's not going anywhere.
What gives with you creeps? I haven't been out of the sight of any of you. I'm the one who picked up the lead. What's your gripe?
We don't know much about you.
You should have found out before you asked me into the caper. You came to me. I didn't come to you. Maybe one of you shut your mouth off and brought on the cops. Try that again in about a week when I'm in better shape.
Now get out. Anybody scatters now and gets caught, we all get caught. When we bust out, we all make it together.
All right, when?
When I say so.
They were still waiting for something, and I hadn't found out what it was. But I had a feeling they had a real surprise in store for me. And everybody had a gun. Mine was still hidden under the mattress.
Want you inside.
Care to walk? It's the first time I've been out of sight of anyone.
How about me?
You're a pleasant sight.
Thank you. If you're thinking you're running out on them, you're crazy.
Oh, I'm not that crazy. Besides, why would I leave without my end of the money?
What good is it if you're not alive to spend it?
Oh, that bad?
We're being watched from the house. I can't let it happen. Keep walking. When you joined up with Harvey, you mentioned a gang back in Detroit. The man who's handling our escape from here is Red Bentley, from Detroit. They figured you were telling the truth about Detroit. Bentley ought to know you, and you know him. He's inside now. If he doesn't...
Florrie didn't have to finish the sentence. Red Bentley was a name I'd remembered from a police file. He'd never seen me before. Whichever way I moved, it looked like I was a dead man. If I turned and ran, Tim would shoot me from the window. I had one chance. I had to get into the house and get my gun from under the mattress. Even with the gun, the odds would be 4-1 against me. But I had to take them. That is, if I could get to my gun.
Wait a minute. What's your rush?
The walk heated me. I thought I'd change my shirt and wash.
Take it easy. Here's a guy you ought to know. From Detroit.
Red Bentley.
Hi, Red.
Hi, man. Long time. Good to see you, boy.
Good to see you, Red.
From what Harvey said, you got real lucky at the right time.
Looks like I always get lucky at the right time.
You always were like that, back in Detroit.
Those were the days.
What they do? Come on in. Just you and the boys. I'm gonna pull out.
These are the main roads. Forget them, they got roadblocks on them around the clock.
These two are back roads, used mostly by field workers and produce trucks going up and down.
The cops watch those too, don't they?
Sure, except when the traffic is heavy. Ever try to sort out a truckload of potatoes? Just give it a quick look and pass. Now, here's where I got the truck stashed. Here's where we are now. It's a couple of miles. I bring the truck in day after tomorrow. We pack in, move out along the back road. We move out and join up with the main highway heading south.
With luck we do all that.
Always need luck. Anyway, we'll be carrying lucky pieces, won't we? We'll make it. If you find any holes, we'll plug them. Man, we sure miss your face around the main drags, especially Danny's place.
I could use some of Danny's steaks right now. All right, fill me in on the missing numbers.
You mean why I said I know you instead of letting you get shot? For one thing, it's always good to know something that somebody else don't know.
What comes next?
I can always change my mind and let you get knocked off.
Where's the profit?
You're reading my mind. What's better than $250,000 divided by 5?
It's $250,000 divided by 2. So it wasn't me you recognized. It was a chance for the big grab.
I don't know you. I figure you got an angle. I have too. This way you split with me and live.
I'll buy.
You better buy. And just remember something. I worked out this plan with Harvey, so I'll be on third base. I'll have a gun on you all the way home. What I say goes, or you go.
I'm all out of moves, Red. You call the signals.
Just a minute, Law. I'm sure these folks can help us.
Sorry to disturb you, mister, but we seem to be lost. Can't find the main road. I guess you must have taken the wrong turn. Be much obliged if you could direct us.
Well, just keep going the way your car's pointing. Now, about 3 miles down the road, make a right turn. That'll take you under the main highway.
Thank you. Much obliged.
Just like they talked about on the radio.
That's right. Those are bullet holes. And that's the car, all right. Mm-hmm. And that fellow back there. Yes, he fits the description on the radio. We better tell the police.
Inside the house.
Oh, what are you going to do with us?
We won't tell anybody anything.
Now, that's the surest thing you ever said. Now, move. What's the difference when you get it, Pop? There's no point in sitting around worrying about it.
Do what you wanted to me, but you can't kill my wife.
Now, that's where you're wrong, Pop. She gets it, too. She has to.
We're just peaceful folks on a vacation, the first one we've had in years. Why, we never did any harm to anybody.
Now, that's life, Ma. You see, we never done nothing but harm people.
Knock it off. Leave him alone. Make you feel like a big man.
Don't push it. There's enough in this baby to go around for everybody.
Laurie, you move out with Sam. They're not looking for you. We'll meet up in Juarez. Red will be back in an hour with the truck. Sam, you better get started. What about them? Don't worry about them. We'll take care of them. That's exactly what I'm worried about. You can't do that, Harvey. Not for innocent people like these. Get going. Listen, I can take them out with me. They won't say anything.
We won't say anything. We promise.
No dice, Sam. We can't take any chances. I don't want this on my conscience. I won't go without them. Now, look, I've done a lot of favors for you guys, so you throw me a couple of lousy bucks. You keep the money. Let me take these people with me. I said no. I won't go without them.
You won't have to.
Get rid of him. Take his car keys and give them to Florrie. There was nothing I could do. I had to stand by and watch Rennick shoot down Sam in cold blood because my gun was still hidden. Now my problem was to get the old couple out alive. It looked like there wasn't much hope for it. I had taken my gun from under the mattress and hidden it in the kitchen, just in case anybody got curious, and searched my room. This was the only equalizer I had, even if the odds were long.
Red brought the truck, filled with potatoes. Except underneath the potatoes there was a compartment. A compartment big enough to hold 4 men. But according to Red's plan, 3 of the men would be left behind, dead. And I had a feeling he was figuring on a 4th. Me.
They set to move out?
Yeah, just about.
I've got an extra gun. As soon as they pack the money on the truck, you pull back halfway. I'll be behind you. I'll toss you the gun. Kill him.
Red wouldn't give me a gun until the last moment, when he was sure he had one on me. He didn't know I had my own. And now the time for the big move had come. I had to save the old couple.
Not much time.
You can get it over with.
See what I mean, Pop? It's the waiting that gets you.
Then do it and be finished with it.
As soon as I get the word, Mom.
All right, tell Tim to finish them off.
Oh, are they ready to roll?
Almost.
Are you really going to let him kill us, son?
Now, Ma, he ain't gonna have anything to say about it because he's gonna get it too. With 1 bullet, I'm gonna settle up a score and add to everyone's divvy.
All right, now you stay put. If anyone comes back with me, use it.
Where's Tim?
He's going through the old man's pockets.
He always was a loose change guy.
Cover Tim when he comes out of the house. Now! I knew the gun Red threw me was empty, and I knew Harvey and Red would go for each other because they thought I didn't have a gun.
You smart boy. What's better than $250,000 divided by 2?
Divided by 1.
Right. I'm gonna divide it by 1. Drop it.
Officer. And if it hadn't been for that one young man, we wouldn't be here to tell about it. He saved our lives.
Yes, sir, Lieutenant. They were just like mad dogs, just itching to kill. Except that one fella that I just couldn't figure out. He seemed different from the rest.
Is this the man?
Yes, sir, that's him.
Lieutenant, I suppose it's wrong to say this, but I hope you never catch that young man. My prayers will be with him always.
I understand, Miss Williams. Lieutenant Frome calling. We got them all. 1 dead, 3 badly wounded. We'll bring them in now. And Captain, I've got some good news for you. The undercover officer is alive and okay. And he's back on the tightrope.
Yeah, back on the tightrope. I was lucky this time. You wonder how long that luck will hold out. But then you try not to think about it. Instead, you try to think of the day the last gangster's gun will be taken away from him. I live for that day. I may even die for it. But just thinking about it makes it easier up here, on the tightrope.